My sister is lying to my parents saying I sell myself because I make a lot of money, but the truth is she's jealous that I got a high-paying job and now I'm going to expose her for the lies that she said about me.
Where does one draw the line when it comes to the people they love and money? I ask this question because I feel that I've allowed my sister to cross some boundaries. And now that I want to enforce them, she wants to throw a tantrum. She might be older, but her behavior does not show it right now. I've had to tell her some uncomfortable truths, and because of that, she's not speaking to me anymore. I know how she can be when she does not get what she wants, so I admit that I'm scared about what she might do to me. My sister and I were raised by a single mother and taught to be there for each other from a very early age. My mom told us the world would be unkind to us, so we have to have each other's backs. I've tried to live by that, but my sister is getting to the point of taking advantage of me right now. I don't know what to do to get her to start taking responsibility for herself. How have I been working for less than 2 years, yet I know how to save and have done a lot more for Mom than she has? I don't understand how her brain works. Now, because of her, I'm stressed even though I have work in less than 2 hours. I'm already ready and my mind is just all over the place. I decided that I would ask the people on the internet for help enforcing boundaries in the gentlest way. I'm not sure if the way that I've been going about is good, but feel free to criticize. Okay, so here's the details. Our mother, 42, came to this country after she gave birth to me. Her friend helped her apply for a job on the side, and she was running away from her abusive husband. My father, he died about 10 years ago, so at least he can no longer harm her. My mother struggles to raise us, works 2 jobs and at a time. We had to work with her to run our household, even though it was not easy. In addition to the stress of putting food on the table, she had to deal with my father. He found out where we stayed each time and threatened her. He told her that he would come and hurt us if she did not pay him money. Mom knew the cops could not do a lot about this, so she decided to pay him. She paid him until he was dead, and when we heard that my father passed away, we were happy. The person who was the happiest was my sister. Because of him, she had to miss out on being a child because most of the money went to him. I remember that something changed within her when our father died. She told Mom that she was going to grow up, work hard, and make sure Mom never had to work again. She was smart, beautiful, and loved by the people. I believed that she could do it. She was never as mean as she is nowadays. She was an innocent, generous person. I felt safe being around her because I knew that she could take care of me. When she finished high school and moved out of town to work, she promised that she would take care of us. My mom was a bit hesitant about her moving out of town, but she did not stop her. My mother was always somebody who encouraged us to do what our hearts told us. She tried to warn us when she saw that we were doing something bad, but the choice was always ours. There was just one thing she did not agree with, and that was something that broke the law or compromised our dignity. My mom told my sister this before she left. My sister found an office job that paid well and started to send money to Mom. Things were much better for a few more months, and then she met Javier. See, Javier is a deadbeat boyfriend. In less than a year, he turned into someone that I did not know. Soon she started to spend less money and give excuses. My mother did not bother her about the money. All she asked was that she visit every once in a while to see the family. She said Mia worked for her money and it was her choice how she spent it. I did not agree. I felt that she was selfish. After all that Mom did for her, she could not even send something once in a while. That was when I started to lose all respect for her. She could not even send something once in a blue moon? At this point, I've not even seen anything, to be honest. This went on until I graduated. I graduated with very good grades, but my future was uncertain. I decided that I was going to work while I looked for something to do. I found a job at the mall. My job was very customer-based, but I didn't mind. I enjoyed interacting with people, and I did my job with joy and used the money to help Mom. She did not take money at all. She took a bit to pay the bills, and she saved the rest for me. One day, there was a talent show at the mall. My manager approached me and asked if I did not want to be the MC for the event. She said the woman who was supposed to do it dropped out at the last minute. My manager claimed that I was charismatic and funny, and thus I would be the best fit for the role. I was hesitant to be the main character, but then she mentioned that I would get paid. It was way more money than I made in a shift, so I decided, yeah, let's do it. The event was a success, and I was shocked when I get a call from the lady after the event, who asked me if I wanted to pursue a career as an event hostess. I was not sure because I did not have experience, but she told me that having natural talent was half the job. She told me that the work would be part-time and well-paying, and the onboarding process was easy enough. I couldn't say no to the money. I ended up taking the job, and most of the events I had to do were night events. My day job ended after 5, and I usually get 1 gig a week and 2 sometimes. I did this for a while, and the extra money really helped. After a while, I was able to get us into a big apartment. I decided that I was going to do the job until I landed a permanent gig. I did the job part-time until I was offered it. It was very well paid with good perks, but there was only one problem. It was out of town. It was in a town right next to my sister's. I decided not to even accept the offer. I didn't want to leave my mother alone like my selfish sister did. I hid the contract and decided to forget about it. Though some sort of divine intervention, my mother found the contract. She then asked me about it, but I told her that I was not going to take the job. I said I would wait for something that would keep me local. She thought I was crazy for not taking the job. She told me to take it and not to worry about her. So, I took the job and have been here for a year now. I'm doing well for myself and I'm able to support her and lead a comfortable life. The only problem is my sister. See, she's been borrowing money from me since I got here. Her entire salary goes to her boyfriend. She's always having some new sob story. I've gotten pretty tired of it, if you ask me. So, guys, I went on to tell her that she should not even let that man near her wallet. I told her to stand up for herself because this time I was not going to give her a cent. And I guess because of that, she gets mad and called me all sorts of names. She tells me that I was selfish in doing this and that I would pay. Now, I'm concerned, because in the past, when she has not gotten what she wants, she acts up. Was I wrong to set some boundaries? Even though it means our relationship is only to get worse. I have money to give her, I know, but I'm tired of being treated like a piggy bank. Every single month, I'm telling you, a new story after story after story. I'm sick of it. Guys, she has no money because, well, he spent it all. Now I have to plan my budget around hers, and it's simply not fair. Update number 1, 2 weeks later. Hey guys, thanks so much for your responses. I've been reading through them, and they've given me a lot to think about. Honestly, I have not even thought about where I'll be in 5 years. All I care about is finishing up building my mother's house. I'm going to do what my sister could not. I wish that things would go smoothly when it comes to building the house, but they do not. I don't know what happened, but my mother has stopped talking to me. She sent me a message telling me not to contact her, send her money, or even go to her home. She told me what I had done was unforgivable, and I don't know what she's even going on about. When I read the message, I absolutely freaked out. The first thing I did was try to text her back, but the message got stuck. After that, I tried to call her, only to find out I've been blocked. I used my other phone to call her, but as soon as she heard my voice, she hung up. I tried to contact her throughout the day, but she blocked me. I decided that I was going to go and see her. I couldn't take time off work because I had a big event. Instead, I decided to book something for the weekend. Once that was done, I messaged my sister. She acted dumb and said that she had other things in her mind. She told me that clearly my neglecting my mother was always the way that she did not want to have contact with me anymore. She told me that I knew what I did on my own because I was hiding things. I have no idea what she was talking about. I'd always been open and honest with my mom. I've always maintained a drama-free life. I've never done anything that I would be ashamed to tell my mother about. There was a misunderstanding, and I need to get to the bottom of it. I counted down the days to the end of the week, and finally, the day of my flight came. I was incredibly nervous throughout the flight, but determined to fix this. I had sleepless nights all week thinking about this. I racked my brain thinking about anything that I could have done to upset my mother and make her hate me. I knew that I did not break any laws, nor did I expose myself in a way that compromised my morals. Well, maybe someone lied to her about me. If that was the case, then I need to set the record straight. That's what I set out to do. But my mom did not want to talk to me. She would not even come out of her room to see me. I couldn't even get past the gate. Someone came out to tell me to get back. I told them that I need to talk to my mother, but my mother did not come out. This broke my heart because I was in the middle of building the house that she wanted. About a year ago, I bought a rundown house at a very cheap price. Since then, I've slowly been renovating it for her. It's now at the point of being habitable. I've even prepared for all the work for the next month. I wanted to talk to her and find out what things she wanted in the house. I decided to tell the messenger that I was going to leave. I then asked her to tell my mom not to turn the builders away no matter how she felt about me. I've not heard from the builders telling me that they were sent away, so at least her house is being built. Even though I don't know what I did, I've decided to give her time. She might be upset, but I'm her daughter. She can't be angry with me forever. There will come a time when she thinks about me and is ready. Well, she's ready to talk. When that time comes, I'll be open to hearing what she has to say. I'm not angry with her at all. I know she must have a misunderstanding of something. I just need a chance to explain myself and everything will be fine. Update number 3. A few months later. You guys will not believe what I found out. I was not crazy after all. Someone did feed my mother a bunch of lies. Pig wash. I'll admit that my sister crossed my mind a few times. The way that she's been acting lately has further solidified my suspicion. She left town about 2 months ago, and I've not heard from her or her boyfriend. It's a relief, to be honest. She can be quite insufferable when she brags to me about how mom still talks to her. She just gets a rise out of seeing me upset. Well, I've learned that, thus I've always remained neutral, but sometimes I come close to snapping. Dealing with the way mom has been treating me has not been easy. I've tried to move on with my life and focus on other things. I've filled my days with a lot of activities so I don't have to think about her. I've had such a tunnel vision these past few months that I failed to recognize one of my mom's friends. I was busy working at an event. I went for water and I bumped into a woman who was rushing. Unfortunately, I knocked her glass over and I helped her find them. Well, I then apologized as I was on my way. The woman stopped me. She said that she could not believe her eyes. It was me in the flesh. When I took a closer look, I realized it was my mom's neighbor, Barbara. Barbara asked me what I was doing at an event like this, and I said I'm working. She then got the most disgusting look on her face, and I asked her why, what's up? She asked me if I had no shame. She told me to get out of that respectable event before she gets me arrested. I told her to chill out. I worked here as an event host. She told me that was probably the front I used, but she knew the kind of person I was. She was starting to get quite upset, and she was stumbling over her words. I told her I didn't know what people told her, but I was making an honest living. I asked if we could go to a corner and talk. I was interested in hearing what she assumed about me. She agreed to do so, and we found a table in the corner. I had about 15 minutes before I had to go back to work, so she quickly filled me in on the scoop. She said she was surprised to see me here because this was not an event an escort would be at. She then asked if I had come with a client. I asked her what she meant because I was one of the hostesses. She said there's no way, but I showed her my name tag and I reminded her that this job was the reason I left town, duh. She was flabbergasted. She said that this was not what my sister told mother. I asked her, okay, enlighten me, what my sister told my mom. Barbara proceeded to tell me the most ridiculous story my ears have ever heard. Apparently, my sister sent my mom pictures of me in clubs, dancing wildly and spending a lot of money. She then told mom that I was lying about being a hostess because I was actually an escort. I couldn't believe it. The bitter jerk lied to mom about what I did, all because I didn't want to give her money. I was visibly upset and told my neighbor it was not true. The neighbor then proceeded to tell me that my sister had found a high-paying job and was back in town, building my mom's house. I told her to excuse me because I was the one who built the home. She said that she heard it around town. I told Barbara not to tell anyone what she saw because I was going to handle this. I then went back to my shift while my mind formulated a plan of action. Updates number 4. 2 weeks later. Guess who's finally going to see her mom? Yours truly. It's all thanks to Barbara, who told me what was going on. As soon as I got home, I applied for leave, and I've not taken leave in a while, so I have many days saved up. I managed to get a month, which was enough time for me to do what I wanted. After that, I contacted my sister's old friend. I remember that they fell out last year because of Javier. She had said something interesting, which I put out of my mind, and I knew that she had just given birth and did not have a job. I went to visit her and brought gifts for the baby. I checked in on her, and then I got straight to business. I told her that I want to ask her if she was serious when she said that my sister was in a shady business. She had written an entire rant on Facebook but had been vague. She didn't even hesitate. She tells me that my sister and her boyfriend were known scammers. She also told me that my sister was never that broke. Mia used to vent to her friend about how I was making her look bad when I sent money to Mom. She then starts making up stupid emergencies so that I would always be short of money. She said that she was sorry that she said nothing when my sister did it. She then told me that Mia and Javier moved into the house with my mother not so long ago. She knew about this because her own sources told her. But then I was done. I cannot believe my conniving sister. She knew what she had done, but she acted stupid in my presence. I was going to make her pay for this, and she had gone unchecked for far too long. I appreciate her friend for telling me the truth. Now I needed to find the proof myself. My next step was to start investigating. I knew just the right people to ask who could look into my sister's finances, while she had no knowledge of it. I got them to do it, and I've just gotten the evidence back. I made several copies of it. Once I've given Mom her copy, I'm going to give the copies to the cops as well, and there's no way I'm allowing her to be a free woman after I expose her lying self. My fight has already been booked, and my 1-month leave starts tomorrow. After I kick that phony out, I'm going to spend some quality time with my mother. I'm so excited yet nervous to see her. I'm not sure how she's going to react to seeing me, and I'm hoping that she's going to be open to hearing everything I have to say. You know, it's actually been months now, months and months, and surely she can at least stand to be in the same room as me. Wish me luck, because I think I'm gonna need it. Final update 3 weeks later. I did it. I spoke to my mom, and the outcome is what they call very, very interesting. See, I arrived in town a few hours after landing. After sleeping off the jet lag, I called Barbara. I told her what to do, and she agreed. Later that evening, she lured my mom to a cafe. I found my mom sitting there with Barbara, and as soon as she saw me, she tried to leave, but Barbara asked her to listen to me just for a minute. In the shortest minute of my life, I explained everything to her and even showed her the proof. She sat quietly for a while as she read through what I found out about my sister. I explained to my mom that I've always made an honest living, but my sister has not. My mother cried after reading through everything. It broke my heart to see her like this. She said she knew that I would never compromise my morals, so I asked her why she cut contact with me, and she said my sister was convincing. She then showed me the picture that she had been shown. Those pictures made it look bad. I told my mother that those pictures were from a friend's birthday party we had at the club. I assured her that I was not taking money from anyone. I spent some time with my mom as we thought about what to do with my sister. After some consideration, we came to a conclusion. She went back home and acted normal while I brought the evidence to the police. They said they would look into it, but it would take days. I didn't call or text Mom during that time. If Mia found out we were on to her, things would not end well. After about a week, I get a call from the cops. They said that, thanks to my information, they were able to link Mia and Javier to several cyber crimes in this town over the past few months. They let me know that they would be making an arrest. I was given an estimated date, and I made sure to be outside the house when she was being taken away by the cops. When she saw me, she immediately accused me of framing her. I guess the smile on my face must have given it away. Soon, she and Javier were in police custody. They're now awaiting trial, but things are not looking good for them. Mom has completely cut her off and has not visited her since she got arrested. Meanwhile, I've been rebuilding my relationship with my mom. I've spent my entire leave with her. It's been so good to reconnect. It's made me so much happier. When I get back to work, I know I'm going to be refreshed. I've been feeling dead lately, and I know it's because she was not in my life. Now I have her back, and there's no way I will ever lose her again.